Hey guys, are you ready for another exciting airdrop? With only 1 day left until the SHL airdrop on current Oyster Pearl holders, I've seen a lot of confusion around the internet about how to make sure that you get your free crypto dividends for your Oyster holdings. We got all the information you're going to need, a summary of what Oyster is, what Shell's going to do, and a full breakdown on how to get your Shell for sure, as well as a very useful countdown timer so you can know exactly when to buy and sell. Let's get cracking, people. All right. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Just a reminder, if you are new to the channel and you want to learn how to totally dominate the crypto market just like us at Kraken Crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can go live for our webinars. All right, with that out of the way, let's jump into what we're going to be talking about today, guys. So, in about 1 day and a few hours, the Oyster airdrop is going to happen. And I'm making this video out of a request for so many people that have contacted me with confusion about how to get their tokens, or really what SHL is, what the Oyster Shell airdrop is all about, and what the Oyster Pearl is about. So, just a quick brief summary. So, Oyster had their ICO for Pearl in about October 2017, and it was kind of weak, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of the consensus around the internet, is that and you can just look at the numbers. The airdrop was pretty weak. However, there was a lot of excitement about the project because of what they wanted to accomplish. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what Oyster Pearl is, so the idea behind Pearl is that they want to do a couple things. They want to revolutionize privacy on the internet with regards to the stalemate between advertisers and ad blockers. And in so doing, they want to do decentralized file storage, cloud storage, just like Coin or Filecoin. The difference is they're going to provide a revenue generating model for websites to integrate the Pearl code, which is just one simple line of code that any web developer can integrate into their website, instead of running ads. Okay, so just a real quick summary of how to make sure you get your Shell tokens, okay? 1, you have to hold Pearl. 2, you have to hold your Pearl in either KuCoin, which is the only supported exchange, or you have to hold your Pearl in a supported wallet. I am going to recommend any Ethereum wallet, any ERC20 compatible wallet where you have access to your private keys. And the most convenient, easiest one to use is My Ether wallet. I highly recommend running it local on an offline computer so that your private keys are not generated online. However, if you're comfortable with using a hot wallet that might possibly be jacked from you, by all means, head over to myetherwallet.com. You can download the local version directly from there and run it on an offline computer, or you can create your new wallet right there and receive your public key. And send your Pearl from whatever exchange that you're holding your Pearl on over to My Ether wallet, or if you're holding Pearl on an exchange that is not KuCoin, go to KuCoin, register. I will have a referral link down in the section down below so that you can get on KuCoin and transfer your Pearl over to KuCoin if you want them to do the splitting for you. So now, I've been making the rounds on the internet for the last few months, as you guys may know, and it's pretty clear to me that up into the 1,000% increase that Pearl just experienced in a week not too long ago, and now it's down significantly from that, it was really heralded as the next two moon coin, and that excitement is still there. What's interesting about Oyster, and I look at this as a metric for when I'm evaluating how viable a project is from an investment standpoint, is you really got to look at how active and passionate their community is. Because if you have an active and passionate community, that is a group of people with money, regardless of how much money. Not completely regardless, but the important part is How far are these people willing to go to pump up this coin? How excited are these people in this coin that they're going to buy it no matter the price? That they are just excited about this project, they want to see it work, and they're going to buy it at any price. And I'm seeing that in the Oyster community. They have an active Telegram, they have a very active Reddit, their developers and their community managers are active on Reddit. So this is good to see. It's good to see that it's not just another fly-by-night. What's really interesting, and we'll take a look at this later, is their GitHub is super, super active. So these are always good metrics to look at when you're looking at how viable is a coin. Now, I will say that if Oyster is successful in doing what it says it wants to do, game changer. Definite game changer. I know I really like Coin, Filecoin. I like projects like that. I like the idea. I think that that is a genuine use case for decentralization, is file storage to keep it censorship resistant and to also keep it private and secure away from the prying eyes of spies or the government or any malactors. However, I do have to point out some possible flaws in Oyster and just look at some potential hurdles moving forward. The one big hurdle that I see is, I guess they've done pretty good at shaking out the bad taste in investors' mouths after their feeble ICO. They've grown quite a bit since then. Their big problem is going to be inspiring mass adoption, and that's the big issue for any cryptocurrency. And they also are relying on the reliability of the Tangle software with IOTA. And there are some very prominent people in the cryptocurrency space that have some heated ideas about IOTA. But I know that it is an exciting technology, and if IOTA is successful, then Pearl could be successful. And if IOTA is successful, that's revolutionary in its own right. A few other problems and things to think about is, will IOTA's Tangle be able to scale? Now, I know IOTA says they are infinitely scaling, but will IOTA's Tangle really be able to handle this level of file storage if this becomes widespread and adopted? Will the Pearl to storage space fee ratio be sustainable or convenient for users and adopters? And will Pearls really be enough of a financial incentive to encourage websites to not run ads, which for many big websites, most big websites, are their main revenue generator? Now, the Oyster development team is pretty impressive. They've got a lot of blockchain veterans on their team. The only issue with their team is their CEO, and that's Bruno Block, and he is an anonymous developer. And in the age of scam ICOs and pump and dumps and all these bad actors and bad things that have happened in the crypto space, a lot of ICO investors have come, whether or not this actually matters or not, because people are still getting fleeced left and right. A lot of investors are looking for complete transparency from the developers and the creators. And the anonymity of Bruno Block has been somewhat notorious. And I want to quote here from a Telegram, probably the most infamous reaction and remark that Bruno Block had about his anonymity is he said, and I quote, "I am anonymous because I invented the protocol that could have political repercussions in the distant future, considering the protocol is the first to enable truly guaranteed storage privacy." Now, although that is forward thinking and potentially true, I do kind of view that as milquetoast. I mean, there are Bitcoin developers out there that are quite public, and Bitcoin was the initial revolutionary system. And I'm sure a lot of these people were afraid of getting assassinated by the government or any bad actors if Bitcoin was truly perceived as a direct threat, and the course of history of Bitcoin had gone far differently. This was a real danger and threat and thing in the minds of people who were into Bitcoin in the early days. Okay, so let's get to the purpose of this video, and that's the shell airdrop. So Pearl has been out for a little bit now, and they're airdropping a new token onto their current holders of Pearl. Now, in just a minute, we're going to get into what steps you have to go through to make sure that you guarantee that you get your free shell. But I just want to talk real quickly about what shell is. Now, shell is going to allow you to access the Oyster meshnet. That means that anybody participating in the Oyster protocol will be able to allow you to boomerang your internet service through them, meaning you will not have to go through an ISP, and you can access the internet or any kind of file that you want or data around the web in a decentralized manner without, as I said, going through an ISP. So shell tokens are going to be the payment for accessing this decentralized network. Some use cases that Bruno Block talks about as well is, say you want to call a friend in a decentralized, secure, and private manner. You can pull up your device, you can pull up the app on your device, and it will ping up who's got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth around you, and you can boomerang through their connection without having to actually have phone access yourself and call your friend boomeranging through this network connection. You can also use it, as I said, to access the internet. And the other big thing is that it's going to allow decentralized applications to run on top of the Oyster Pearl protocol. Now, the only time that Shell will be available right now is going to be through the airdrop. There is not going to be a token sale. I'm sure later on you'll be able to pick them up on the open market, but right now the only way that you can get Shell is to currently be a holder of Pearl and receive the airdrop. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into how to actually get your Shell. All right, so here we are over at the KuCoin exchange. Now, KuCoin, and I have the word of a community manager of Oyster. You can hop in their Telegram and talk to one of them. The only exchange that is going to be supported for the Shell airdrop is going to be KuCoin. No other exchange that has Pearl on there is going to be supported. So this rules out your Cryptopia. So if you want to have your tokens on an exchange and have it done automatically for you, have the splitting done for you, KuCoin's one of the only exchange where you can have this done. So we'll take this brief segue and just look at price action real quick and do a little quick technical analysis of Pearl. Now, this is kind of different, and I'm kind of known for talking about airdrops and trading airdrops. And my strategy is not typically what most people's strategy is. I'm typically, I'm not a shiller for any project. I do this for the money. I'm a trader. In fact, if you haven't already joined the Cracking Crypto trading group, hop on to discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Will take you right to the Discord. It's free to join. You can join the active community of traders who are revolutionizing the way we do trading today. All right. So looking at the price action, this does not look like your typical run-up pump to an airdrop with only 1 day left. Now, I'm looking at the daily chart. So this has seen some good price action ever since we had this big run-up in early January. The big run-up, obviously, we all know every chart looks the same of every cryptocurrency right now. Come on, people. We know how the charts look. But you can see we've come down. We had this really nice spike at the first quarter of February there. A little decline, a nice little bump back up, and then we had this nice long accumulation period. And clearly this was obviously the area to buy back in if you hadn't bought yet. When you see these nice sideways movements, that's the time to get into projects, folks. You set your stop loss below the swing low, but as long as there's a nice sideways accumulation here, this is generally where you see obviously the big movements when volatility and the bands tighten up, everything tightens up, and then there's a violent explosion. So we've had this nice little pop up, and now this move down, and this is not a this could be a little three black crows. This could be a harbinger of something worse. We'd kind of have to wait until this daily candle closes, because this could push back up and we'd have these nice long kind of reversal candle wicks, especially off of this one. And if this current candle looks like this when it closes, those would be some nice good Japanese reversal candles, some hammer candles. So I'm on KuCoin and they have the trading view, but I'm not going to draw my trend lines. I'm not going to throw my indicators on here. I'm not going to throw the TD on there as I normally do. I think that just by looking at this, you can see that if price hasn't found a floor at its current level, which would be a good bump up above the previous floor, then you don't have much farther to go down to find that strong support right here. So we can see this really nice long, nearly month-long support here. And now we've had this run up, and now we're back down, and now we seem to be in, I mean, this looks just like the beginning of this, doesn't it? Little bump up, come down, little sideways movement. So we'll just wait and see how this looks, but this looks like a good time for me to begin looking at Oyster, to begin looking at a potential accumulation. And if you're interested in getting into Oyster anyways, now is probably not a bad time to jump in so you can get some of your free shell. You can always dip out at a slight profit or a slight loss later on if you wanted to truly reevaluate for the long time. But then in that case, you've got your free crypto dividend sitting on the side, and then you can take that to cover any losses that you might incur or to bolster any short-term gain that you might get. Of course, just a disclaimer, guys, this is for informational purposes only, guys. Do your own research. So KuCoin not looking bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at continuing down the path of doing a little bit of fundamental analysis about Oyster. Let's take a look at their GitHub. And here's their GitHub. You can find this at github.com/Oyster Protocol. Again, as always, links will be in the section down below. So they've got 14 repos on their GitHub. And I'm just going to click on the top one just because I don't have the time to go through 14 repos. So this is the repo for their broker node. And as you can see here, they've got 667 commits. And they've got 667 commits since, well, commits on March 31st. So let's go back and see. That would take a while to get through. That would take quite a while to get through. But yeah, 667 commits is quite a lot. Let's take a look at their issues. So 22 open and 36 closed. I think that's a pretty good ratio. And they had an issue opened 11 hours ago, 11 hours, 14, a day, 7 days. I mean, so these guys are, this is a pretty active GitHub, guys. 2 open, 155 pull requests closed. This is pretty impressive. One just opened 20 minutes ago. So yeah, this is an active GitHub, guys. This is good. 26 branches, 7 contributors. This is good to see. This is definitely not vaporware. I mean, if it is, they're doing a lot of developing on this vaporware. So we'll go over here to Oyster. Click on their team. Here's obviously information about the Shell airdrop. Go down to their team. Again, they've got a pretty good team, guys. This team has a lot of blockchain experience. Again, the only thing that's a little weird is their CEO, Bruno Block, the anonymous gentleman or lady. So this is a Medium post by Bruno Block where he's talking about Shell. And I just wanted to read you this opening paragraph because I thought it was cool, and I'm even going to switch into my movie voice. In a world full of the internet. No. So it starts off and it says, the internet is constantly threatened by governing bodies worldwide concerning censorship, regulation, and spying. Internet users have resorted to calling their elected officials to try and remedy the problem, which is the last place the problem will get solved. ISPs are collaborators in the degradation of the connectivity that we depend on. So pretty eloquent there from Mr. Bruno or Mrs. Bruno Block. So they're talking here, he goes on to talk about how he's introducing Shell, and Shells are going to be used to pay for connectivity and DApp operations across the Oyster meshnet. And here he goes into those use case scenarios that I had talked about and how you can get them. So I'm going to link this Reddit. This is pretty interesting. This is a Reddit post on their subreddit, and it's a pretty good read if you read the whole thing. But this is a young, up-and-coming computer scientist, and he's read the project. He seems excited about it, but he had some questions. And I just want to jump down to number 5, which is true security. And he says, currently, as I understand it, when Amazon or another provider stores information on a cloud, the data is still easily retrievable because it's centralized. In the scenario of a government issuing a warrant, the data on the cloud, or even in one of those super secure underground bunkers, is still accessible to the inquiring body with the warrant, unless Amazon tries to delay the distribution of data through legal means, or one of those data storage bunkers decides to go to war with the United States government. Sooner or later, the data may be compromised. So all he's saying there is, if you have cloud storage through any centralized company, the government can come in and get it, right? Then he goes, so what I have determined from your project is honestly something that excites the hell out of me if it's true. Once the data is distributed across the network, it is virtually impossible to provide anybody, warrant or not, the data they seek. Since you as providers of the service obviously aren't holding the data, the keys, or any personal information, Oyster are subsequently completely unable to provide any support to the inquiring body, even if you provide full compliance, simply due to the nature of information being distributed and encrypted anonymously across an already heavily encrypted network. This is huge. This is. Secure decentralized file storage is huge, and that's why those are projects that I'm very, very bullish on. Because bullish in a financial sense, because I think that investors see the value in them, and those are also easy projects that people can just, retail investors can just see that and be like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to dump my 401k into it. So you're always looking for those projects that people that are easily hypeable when you're looking to trade, when you're looking for what to invest in, if you just want to make money. But the other thing about it is that this is cool tech too. So this is one of those rare cases when financial incentive and altruism, investing in good tech, collide. And it's so cool when that happens. All right. So again, I will link to that down below. Now, us at Cracking Crypto have some pretty talented developers, and I want to give a shout out to our head developer, Ben Kirkland, for slapping together this really nice countdown timer for us and for everybody. You know, the people over at Oyster took a look at it, really liked it, and I'm really impressed. You know, if you go over to our website, crackingcryptocurrency.com, and you find the airdrops tab right here, you can see our Ether Classic, the one that we did for Ether Classic, our Oyster Pearl, and the Monero V countdown timer that is still active and live. Please check out our videos on the Monero V hard fork right there. So yeah, you can see the current block, and this is actually more accurate than the countdown timer that is on the Oyster website. Because this is hand coded and it's constantly adjusted by network difficulty, which the other one is not. So shout out to Ben for doing that. He's a really great dev. Make sure you guys click on this beer for the coder right there and shoot that guy over some Bitcoin. I'm sure he could really appreciate it for his hard work. So let's finish off by taking another quick look at this price. So yeah, I mean, this looks like a pretty nice price. It seems kind of like we've got if you were to squiggle these lines a little bit, you don't even got to squiggle them that much, but this is almost like a flat top ascending triangle, which is which is a bullish triangle that I like to trade. Here you're seeing higher lows and you're seeing steady highs, meaning that supply is maintaining a steady line, but demand is jumping up to meet it. And when those two lines intersect, demand overtakes supply because that is the trend, and the trend is your friend until it bends, people. So the demand trend is slanting up, meanwhile supply is staying static. So that means that when those two lines intersect, when supply and demand intersect, the trend for demand will overtake the trend, the static trend, for supply, and then we will see a very nice, hopefully bullish movement out of that. This type of triangle is a very successful breakout pattern that I do trade. So you could either buy what seems to be a dip right now with a stop loss set below the swing low, is how I would trade this, or you would wait for the breakout of the triangle. And if there's enough request for it, I can pull up TradingView in a later video and do the charting for you guys. Again, just a quick reminder, if you're not a subscriber, make sure to hit that button. And if you are a return viewer and you like our content, we would really appreciate those thumbs up. Helps move us up in the rankings, guys. Of course, check out discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com to come directly to our Discord. tw.crackingcryptocurrency.com to hit our Twitter, and fb.crackingcryptocurrency.com to link directly to our Facebook group, guys. Leave any comments in the section down below. I am Justin Wise with Cracking Crypto. It has been a pleasure. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.